Hell yeah.
All right. What is it? Episode 47?
Yes.
Oh,
We're closing in on 50. We got to do something big for that one.
oh God.
Just get wasted.
Okay. I don't drink. I know you don't ever fucking sip, so I don't know why you'd bring that up.
Okay. We can compare this on stream one day when I'm actually streaming myself drinking and you're not because you're afraid to show the world that you don't drink.
Cool. My liver disagrees.
Anyways, yeah. So episode 47, we are back. I think this is going to be a little bit more of a movie heavy episode because there have been some great movies that have come out recently and we have some thoughts on that. And then, I've got a thing I wanted to talk to you about Twitch again. Go figure.
Yeah, I saw there's some shitty Twitch news about banning people.
Oh, that's not what I was even talking about. So, okay.
Okay, well, we'll talk about that. I think first I want to talk about for our wonderful listeners, we both have braved the 4+ hour Justice League Zack Snyder cut movie.
Yes.
So I know we both have a lot of thoughts on that.
Do you
so
want?
I'm assuming that's probably going to be about half the cast.
Yeah, I was about to say that's the big focus. So did you want to? Oh.
And then other than that, I've got some small articles, a Twitch article, and then I have some good news too. So.
Okay, I don't know if it's something you have in your agenda, but I know you've been playing Cyberpunk again after the new patches come out, and I kind of want to get your thoughts on that at some point this episode.
Yeah, and so this, if anybody remembers, I only recently, within the last 6 months, rebuilt or got a new computer or desktop, and so I've been out of the desktop game for a while, and so obviously, when I used to have my tower, that was back in like middle school for me. I mean, I'm talking 10+ years ago. So a lot of settings and whatnot have changed since then, as you can imagine.
Oh, yeah.
And so I realized I've been playing Cyberpunk with what is called, one of the settings is DLSS.
Yeah.
Which it's like a newer setting, which it supposedly makes your gameplay smoother by trying to give you better frame rate, but not changing the quality type stuff. Anyways, if you know that, anytime you have a setting in a game, the further right you move it, generally it means the higher quality it is.
Mm-hmm.
So with DLSS for Cyberpunk, I had it all the way over on ultra performance, quote unquote, which is what to me meant like, oh, this is epic. Turns out I've been playing it on like a hyper shittily condensed resolution mode of Cyberpunk, and it still looked pretty good. So
yeah, essentially you had been like making your graphics card do performance over graphics, and it was like, I mean, the settings. It's like if you want to make your game run smoother, you turn graphic settings down. So essentially,
right.
DLSS. Which when he told me that too, he was like, "Shouldn't it be all the way up?" And I was like, "Yeah, because that means that it's like it's the only game where it's like reversed." Which made no sense.
So that kind of triggered me a little bit, but now I've got it all fixed up, and yeah, it looks even better.
I'll have to check mine now, because now that I think about it, I don't know where mine's at on that.
Idiot.
It might be up to the right. If it's on the right by default, then I never changed it.
No, by default it's off.
Oh, okay. Well, hell yeah. Well, do you just want to get straight into the Justice League then, since this is going to be the main focus?
I have many thoughts about this movie.
Okay, you probably have more thoughts than me then.
I have many thoughts.
So just to make it simple, what is your, like, just one sentence initial thought? Like, liked it, hated it, too long?
And again, I want to clarify, I never saw the theatrical. I only saw the arrogant, shitty director Zack Snyder cut. Overall, I liked it. I mean, it had a darker tone than Marvel movies, I thought.
It was pretty violent. It caught me off guard, like how violent and bloody it was at times.
Right. It was pretty gruesome, but I mean, I liked it. Overall, I liked it, but before I go into details, what's your one sentence?
It kept me entertained, but I feel like it didn't do justice because I haven't been so committed to the DC universe. I feel like if I had seen all like the other DC movies, this movie probably would have been amazing. But just from what I've seen, I can just say that it entertained me, and I had some gripes and flaws with it. But it was a net positive experience for me.
So I also want to clarify that I'm looking at right now on Wikipedia, the original Justice League theatrical cut was still directed by Zack Snyder.
I'm assuming the studio probably just condensed it to fuck.
Right. And so my thought, though, and again, we'll dive into the characters and whatnot as we go, but my initial thought is I'm really focused on Zack Snyder around this because, first off, he felt the need to put his own name on the movie, which to me is a kind of a red flag of like, huh.
Yeah, usually they do director's cut or like original cut. They don't be like the Zack Snyder cut or like you know how like Blade Runner, like it was the director's cut. It wasn't the I forget who did that movie.
Right. And so for me, you know, obviously I'm not a director. I haven't directed jack shit ever. but to me, if it takes you double the length of the theatrical to your cut to make people like it, you're a horrendous director. I'm sorry.
My biggest thing with his direction of the movie, and I'm sure you can attest to this too, is why on God's earth was it filmed in 4:3?
Yeah, so 4:3, and you know, just sometimes that doesn't always click with people. It just means it's like an old box TV. It's more boxy than widescreen, like everything is now.
It's the aspect ratio, yeah. Like if you remember like old CRT TVs and computer monitors, imagine that instead of a more rectangular like monitor TV we have now. And it's like, you know, you're making this like, you know, the movie has a fuckload of special effects. Like, wouldn't you want to show those special effects on like a good quality widescreen, like that gives it like much more scale? Like, I don't understand what the thought process was. Like, oh man, 4:3 is going to be awesome. It'll look so cool with black bars on everyone's TV. Like, okay.
Yeah, and again, to me, that's the Zack Snyder, you don't understand kind of thing.
Yeah, it's like, it's art, and it's like, okay.
So, I mean, that's my initial takeaway from this. It's just, first off, the original was 2 hours, which, you know, it's not a short movie to begin with. But the fact that you needed to double it to get people to like it means you poorly executed the direction of this movie from the beginning, in my opinion, personally.
That makes sense, yeah. I understand, like, you know.
Like, you were not able to effectively film and condense this movie yourself to the point where people would like it. You needed double the running time. I mean, I'm sorry. I feel like if any other director could come in and say, oh, I've got twice as much time as I thought, I'm pretty sure they're going to do the same thing and people are going to love the movies. But in general, I'm talking about movies that people liked at the theater cuts.
Okay.
You know what I mean? It's just like, that to me kind of rubs me the wrong way. It's like, you're a shitty director, dude. You're a bad director. I'm sorry.
I was about to ask you, you know, since we're talking about, you know, long movies, bad direction stuff, I was going to bring in, you know, Lord of the Rings, how there's like
exactly
the extended edition that's like 5 hours, but at the same time, like the theatrical edition did it well enough to where the extended one was just more icing on an already good cake.
Right. That's a perfect example of something that's an epic movie. You know, all of them. I know I mentioned on the other cast, I watched Return of the King extended edition. It was like 4.5 hours.
It's so good though. It's like such a good 4.5 hours.
It was already good.
Yeah, exactly. It's already like a 10 out of 10 movie, and the adding some extra stuff is like an 11. Yeah, I mean, I don't know. Like I said, I'm not as invested in DC, but it's like the movie did keep me entertained.
Except, I mean, and then going into characters though, Aquaman might as well just not have had him in the movie.
My thing is, like, I always saw the meme on Twitter before I saw the movie where it was like anytime Wonder Woman's on screen, it plays like that chanting music and goes like all slow-mo and stuff. And it's like, sure enough, it really did that.
Well, and going on, because it's an extended edition, there were a lot of really cringy facial expressions or shots that, again, as a director, if you're coming in behind it and you have the ability to pick and choose everything you want, there were a lot of questionable things that were still left in of like, that was just a really bad or poorly acted moment.
There was a gratuitous amount of slow-mo in that movie too. Like, don't get me wrong, slow-mo, especially in a superhero movie, is needed, but I feel like there were so many instances where it's just like, cool, here we go, another like minute-long slow-mo segment. Like, I don't know. I guess it's to build up like the scale and tension, but it's like, at a certain point, if it's nothing but slow-mo, it's like, all right, you're losing me, Chief. Like how people flame Michael Bay, because it's like Michael Bay's nothing but explosions and like oversaturated colors. It's like, okay, well, this is just oversaturated slow-mo. But at the same time, like I said, I don't know enough about DC and like the characters and stuff, but I was very invested into Cyborg, and I actually, if they were like, yeah, we're making a Cyborg movie, I'll watch it. He was a cool ass character. I liked the way he looked. I thought he was one of the better like acted characters. Like I liked him. He was fun. But
right, and I do have an article about this from GameSpot by David Walensky. And essentially, it's statistics from HBO on how many people actually finished this god-long movie. And so he has a tweet inside of his article, and I'm just going to read the tweet. And it says, according to Sama TV's report, from the 2.2 million of households within the U.S. that started watching Zack Snyder's Justice League on HBO Max, only 36% of people finished it.
Oh, wow.
And then in the U.K., it was only 48%. So again, it just comes back to like, I know Zack Snyder like is like sitting in his house, whacking it to this, seeing his name everywhere. But it's like, dude, at the end of the day, you're a really bad director. I'm sorry.
Yeah,
you're a poor director. You had probably a blank check to make this movie, and like you cut it down to 2 hours, and you couldn't execute in 2 hours. I'm sorry, you're a bad director.
Way the fuck off topic, but it just remembered because I was thinking like when you were like blank check or whatever, and it's like I'm sure HBO probably like paid a lot for it as well. No, we have HBO Max, so me and Casey we watched the other day. I don't know if you've ever seen the movie Wanderlust.
No,
it's a Judd Apatow film with Paul Rudd and Jennifer Aniston, but there's like one part like she's like a director and she's trying to like pitch like a March of the Penguins thing to like HBO. Which I thought was funny that it's like they're making fun of HBO and they have it on the service, but essentially the HBO is just like, yeah, like she was joking because like they shut down her movie. She's like, oh, should I just put more vampires? They could whip their tits out. And like the HBO exec was like, if you're being sarcastic, please be serious because that's a good idea. I was just laughing that like, HBO just made fun of itself so blatantly. But yeah, no, I don't know. It's like I want to it. I want to like the Zack Snyder cut, but it's like there are, and especially like with what you're saying, that it's like I never thought of it as like, oh, if it was good from the get-go, this would just be better. But if it wasn't good from the get-go, then yeah, like you're saying, that was just poor direction.
And so I'm going to read a comment from that article I was reading. So somebody defending the Zack Snyder cut, quote unquote, it takes discipline to watch a long artistic movie such as this. In my opinion, the Snyder cut is the superior movie. I want to punch this person in the face.
Okay.
Oh, the only one positive though is that I was really, really skeptical of Ben Affleck as Batman.
I liked him as Batman. Like after you told me about it, I was like, damn, he actually does do a good Batman.
Right. Yep. That's exactly what I was about to say. I really liked him as especially Bruce Wayne. I thought he was a much better Bruce Wayne than Christian Bale ever was.
The only thing that's like he didn't do, I guess, which maybe like I liked him better, is like whenever he was Batman, he didn't do like the I'm Batman like super deep ass voice. He just kind of like made his like regular voice more gruff. Yeah. I did like him. I like the guy who played Walter too. I was like he did a good Walter, but then again, the one from like the Dark Knight trilogy, he's like the best. Well, speaking of movies and shit like that, another really anticipated movie came out this past week as well. And of course, we're talking about nice. Godzilla vs. King Kong. And I fucking love that movie. I'll just come out and say that movie was awesome. Like, I feel like they did a good balance of like human stuff versus monster stuff. I know because we watched it together and it's like humans are pretty fucking dumb in that movie. Like whenever they're on the boat, like they just have him like, chained down. He's freaking out and they're just like, what's wrong with him? And it's like, obviously he's fucking pissed. But that movie was amazing and I can't wait to see. I'm hoping this doesn't mean like the MonsterVerse movies are over. Like they got to have more, right? Because Godzilla's got so many like enemies, but like Ghidorah's always been his biggest one. So the fact that he's already out of the picture, I'm like, fuck. And Mechagodzilla, those were like his two biggest ones, and it's like, fuck. It's kind of only downhill from here. I feel like,
I have to go back to Zack Snyder. I'm sorry. I'm reading.
You're still on this. Okay, I was like, fuck, let's move away from this before you start getting like triggered and angry, but it's like we can go right back to it.
So I'm looking at Zack Snyder's fucking Wikipedia. Where the fuck did this guy get popular? He hasn't done anything good in his career.
Really?
I mean, so it says he made his feature film debut in 2004 with a remake of Dawn of the Dead, which was okay. You know, there's infinitely better zombie movies, 21 days later, 21 weeks later even. You know what I mean? There's infinitely better zombie movies. And then it says he did 300, which is a good movie, Watchmen, good movie, and then that's it. After that, it's shitty Superman movies, Batman versus Superman, Justice League.
Yeah.
So when the fuck did this guy get the right to slap his name on a goddamn movie?
Yeah, I mean, I'm looking.
I'm serious. I'm getting pissed, and then I'm reading further down, and it says Snyder directed Warner Brothers 2007 Justice League, but he exited during post-production due to the death of one of his daughters, Autumn Snyder. His replacement was Joss Whedon.
Yeah.
So he still filmed and directed the whole fucking movie.
Yeah.
Just the original Justice League is the Zack Snyder cut.
Yeah.
Like, I'm getting pissed at this. Like, this fucking arrogant prick putting his goddamn name on him. Oh, I made it better. It was Joss Whedon. No, it wasn't. It was your fucking movie. He probably tried to put together a bunch of shit that you left in a pile. I'm getting fucking pissed. Like, what has he done, though?
Okay,
like,
so
he didn't direct Lord of the Rings.
I'm glad you asked that, though, because it's like looking at his IMDb page. There is one movie that's like, it's very diverse of like some people hate it, some people love it. I'm one of the people that loves it. But Zack Snyder did direct this movie called Sucker Punch. I don't know if you ever saw that one.
I mean, I've never seen it. Is that worthy of being like, oh, I'm a top tier director?
Oh, no, but Sucker Punch is just a badass movie. But it's like, yeah, it's the fact that kind of like what you're saying, it's like he can like slap his name all over like, you know, the
Joss Whedon fucked up my movie. Let me put my name on this cut now. Make it twice as long.
Like, the only director who, like, I wouldn't say only, but, like, I feel like one of the few people that could, like, say, like, the, like, actual name cut is probably, like, you know, Lord of the Rings, like, call it the Peter Jackson cut. Like, he's earned that right with those movies. Or, like, the dude who directed, like, all the Marvel movies, like, they earned that right.
This is just triggering me. And again, I Watchmen 2009 is awesome. So maybe he has a theme of making just long as fuck movies because he's not capable of shortening them.
Yeah, even
Watchmen was like 3.5 hours.
Yeah, and even Sucker Punch is like, I think it's 2 hours.
And like Watchmen, don't get me wrong, is a fantastic fucking movie. I love Watchmen. I think that, to me, of all these movies I'm looking at that he's ever done, that is probably his best one.
Yeah.
Watchmen is a fantastic movie. I'm getting triggered at like seeing, first off, obviously anything Justice League, that's going to be like a massive budget movie, right?
Like that's going to be unbelievable.
Yeah, and so it's just like, why would you pick Zack Snyder?
That you know movie also
like, what the fuck has this guy ever done?
The fucking like the cast in that movie too. Like there was like fucking like big name actor after big name actor just like coming out of the woodworks, and I'm like, dog, like what the fuck was the budget for this movie?
And that's like going back to my point of like Ben Affleck as Bruce Wayne was awesome. He carried the movie whenever there wasn't action.
Yeah.
All right. Anyways, I think I can get off my getting pissed. It's just his fucking smug picture is on the Wikipedia, and it's just I don't like that it says the movie was filmed and he exited during post-production, and it's like, oh, I need to make it twice as long and put my name on it now. It's like, well, you filmed the original, bud.
Yeah.
Anyways, I'll stop being pissed now. I'm getting annoyed at this though. This is
it looks
really
like dumb. It looks like I'm looking it up. It looks like the original Justice League was $300 million budget, and then the Zack Snyder Justice League was $70 million. So I'm assuming that's a grand total of $370 million budget. And Avengers Endgame has a $356 million budget. So this movie had a higher combined budget than Endgame. Let that sink in for a second.
All I'm going to say, though, is like...
It had to have been a blank check then.
When I compare Avengers to... like Avengers to DC and Marvel, blah, 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 all that... I feel like Avengers characters were just fleshed out so much more.
They also had more time to do it. I mean, the MCU started like in what, 2008
with Iron Man, yeah.
Yeah, so they had 15 years to flesh that out. The one thing DC does good though, except maybe in Justice League, is DC does really good on their villains. Like Joker is really good. Like the Joker movie with Joaquin Phoenix was good.
That's who they really needed in this movie, to be honest.
Harley Quinn, they do a lot of movies with her. Like I know they kind of get shit on, but I have fun watching Birds of Prey and stuff like that. Like I thought that was great. I like that they have Jesse Eisenberg as Lex Luthor. I'm like, dude, their villains, they are just fucking swinging it out of the park. That's why, and even I don't know if you've seen the trailer for the new Suicide Squad movie coming out, but I'm like, dude, this looks amazing. And that movie's going to be directed by James Gunn, which it's I'm already this movie's pretty much already good because it's directed by James Gunn.
What if it's directed by Zack Snyder?
Then there's going to be a lot of slow-mo and shitty music versus James Gunn is the guy who did the Guardians of the Galaxy movies. So it's just going to be fun. Dude, I don't know, man.
Okay, so wait. So when you compare, who's this? Obviously, the strongest DC hero is Superman. There's no ifs, ands, or buts about it.
Yeah, it's got to be Superman.
Because I'm not going to spoil anything, but Superman is Superman. Let's put it that way.
Yeah, I mean he has every power you could think of.
So then in Marvel, who's Superman's equivalent? Is it Thor?
I don't know. See, that's the thing that I noticed about
Thor's a literal god.
That's the thing that kind of annoys me with DC is it's in Justice League, you've got Batman who's essentially an Iron Man. He's rich. I did like that when he's what's your power? I'm rich. I was like, that's funny. And then you've got the Flash who's super fast, can go back in time and stuff like that. But it's Wonder Woman, Superman, even Aquaman. It's just they're just so powerful across the board. It's kind of what the hell? At least in Marvel movies, each hero has their own niche. Hulk is just stupid fucking strong, but he's not can't fly or do telekinetic shit. And then it's Iron Man's just he's got money. Thor's a god, so he kind of breaks it. But it's every other one has certain abilities. But it's I feel DC superheroes every hero gets so many powers. Even Cyborg, you could hack into anything in the world, spawn weapons, extra appendages. I'm dude, what the fuck? I'm there's no other than Superman's kryptonite. It's what the fuck is these heroes' weakness? What makes them beatable? There's no what's the word? I guess tension is the word because it's they're all fucking literal just walking gods. So it's why should I be invested? Oh man, that punch actually might hurt him. It's no, it's not. He's just gonna get up and fly across the planet and punch him and freeze him. And it's okay. Oh wait, that wasn't even Superman. That was Aquaman. Got it. I don't know. In Wonder Woman's defense, she is the daughter of a god, so I guess that one makes sense. And then Superman. Yeah, I'm trying to think who is Super. The only person who I could say is maybe Superman's equivalent, and it's only just based off power. Not. I was gonna say either Thor, but I was gonna say not even in terms of power, in terms of physical power, just in terms of how strong they are, and influential they are. Is maybe Professor X. I mean, that dude can go into people's minds, change their memories, make them do whatever they want. He's connected to everyone in the world, but it's they're two different kind of powers.
Right.
But yeah, I guess it has to be Thor then.
All right. One more quote from Zack Snyder. Are you ready?
I love this episode. This is going to be one of my favorite episodes. I can already tell.
Are you ready?
Yes.
So this is a direct quote from Zack Snyder regarding his directing style. I can't wait. There are other superhero movies where they joke about how basically no one's getting hurt. That's not us.
Okay.
Yeah, I that's why I'm laughing, because it's last time I checked, Aquaman was just getting his ass slapped around and would just get up every time and be good to go.
Same thing with Wonder Woman. She'd get chucked across the room, smack a wall, and then get up and fight back. Even Flash, when he got hit by that bolt, he just heals himself up. And then Superman just doesn't get hurt at all. That's not us.
Did you like that?
Dude, what an arrogant asshole.
I know, in maybe he's like a really nice guy and not like a jackass, like I'm pointing out, but like it's just hard to feel that way. And I remember
from
there
an
was this
outsider standpoint, like it's just like what a cunt.
Well, and there was this one like TikTok of Zack Snyder was like with his wife in a comedy club, and the comedian like nobody knew who he was because you don't just recognize somebody like him on the street unless you're like really.
I think I know what you're talking about.
Yeah, and like he talks to the guy. I'm sorry, somebody texted me. It was a really weird text. The comedian like says, "Oh hey, what's your name?" Like randomly picks him, and he's like Zach, and then the guy's like, "Okay, cool," like makes a Zach joke, and he's like, "Oh Zach who?" Blah blah blah, and the guy's like you know who? Like Zack Snyder's like, "You know who I am?" Like essentially like you know who I am, and the guy's like, "I have no fucking clue who you are," and he's like, "Well, think of a famous director whose name starts with Zach," and then he's like Snyder, and he's like, "Yeah." And it's like at that point, I was like, this guy's a fucking prick.
Yeah, it is kind of a douchey move.
It's like, oh, nice, dude.
It's like you want to tell everyone that you're big and famous and important, but you don't want to be the guy to do it. So in turn, you're like, hey, boy, tell these people who I am. I'm so humble. Tell them who I am.
Get the fuck out of my club.
Get the fuck out of my game.
Oh, why don't you slow motion walk out?
While playing like really loud operatic
That's not us.
Music.
I know it. Once we have some drinks tonight, that's gonna come back up.
Oh, that might be like that might be my new shit talk whenever like if we're playing Valorant and someone's like, I hate people like you that just go in and don't care. That's not us.
Sorry if people can hear clicking. I'm copying and pasting the quote to Stu so he can actually see it. There we go.
Snyder said, quote, yeah, there are other superhero movies. Oh my God. That's not us. Okay.
Anyways, all right, I feel I can find. All right, let's move on to something else. Now that we're a little fired up, let me jump right into Twitch.
Hell yeah.
I have an article from GameSpot by Jenny. I'm going to mispronounce it. Apologize. Zheng Zhang.
Zhang. Yeah, something like that.
Zhang. So, Twitch will ban streamers for serious off-platform conduct.
So I was reading about this. Actually, now that you mentioned this was something I meant to bring up, but I didn't until you fucking mentioned it. But yeah, I agree with this to an extent.
I was gonna say I'm surprised to hear you say that
because like if someone like
the comments and everyone is pissed about this.
Like, but like so my thing is it's like if someone like. It depends what it is. If they're like a really nice positive person on stream and then like off stream they're like more or less normal, kind of jokey, a little bit of a touch of an asshole thrown in there, I think that's fine. But it's like if off stream they're like super like vitriolic and like like using their community for wrong, like or something, like let's say they're like off stream but they're like harassing the shit out of like other streamers, like smaller streamers in their communities doing the same thing. I'm like, okay, you're using your platform, your Twitch platform that you built in a wrong way. I think that's fair grounds. But it's like if let's say you were a big streamer and then like you're doing your normal thing and then like a video of you surfaces like at a bar and someone like spills a drink on you and you're like, get the fuck out of my face before I knock you out, and like Twitch is like, well, you're banned now. I'd be like, that's bullshit. I think
what if it's a situation where on stream good conduct, off stream not good conduct, but going to your point where you specifically mentioned a situation where people were like abusing other streamers. What if it has nothing to do with other streamers and you're just playing your own game on like a Smurf account, but you're a piece of shit?
Like piece of shit. So like let's say a piece of shit as
Twitch finds out.
So let's say like by piece of shit you just mean like being like, oh, you guys fucking suck, or you mean piece of shit as in like you go into games and just immediately start throwing out hard R's or something.
You're toxic as shit.
I kind of say no at that point. Like, granted, yeah, it's not a good look, but it's like you're not doing it on Twitch, so by extension, like you're not, like I said, with the harassing other people, like you're using your platform and community in a wrong way. Just playing off stream, doing your own thing, like I don't think it's safe to say that you're representing Twitch and your brand at that point. Now, if
Okay,
you had
that's
your community
reasonable.
involved, like let's say you're playing with some like your subs or mods, and y'all are just in like a WoW game, just harassing people. At that point, I might be like, okay, well, like now you're kind of using your power. But if it's just like solo queue smurfing, shit talking, I don't care. Do it. Go for it.
All right, I can agree with that. Of course, that's not what the article's saying. It's saying that they will ban you for anything they find.
Oh, well, I don't necessarily agree with that then, no.
Yeah. They even have Twitch has enlisted the help. I'm reading from the article. Twitch has enlisted the help of a third-party investigative law firm to help support its investigations. It has also opened up an email address, osit@twitch.tv, where anybody can send evidence of off-platform misconduct that falls.
This is going to be very interesting to watch because I feel like people are going to abuse it if a streamer doesn't do one little tiny thing that they don't like.
So we'll see.
Like, I feel like if a streamer's playing a game off stream and they like lose or something, like let's say it's like Shroud or something who's like, you know, really good at a game. Like, let's say he loses. I feel like people are going to be like, oh, like, fuck this guy. He lost. I didn't get my win reported. I don't know. Jesus. So I got some Twitch news then to follow up on. If you're ready.
I'm ready.
So I know you'll probably be interested in this. I'm assuming you still go on Twitch, even though you're not streaming. I'm assuming you still open up Twitch occasionally, right?
Nope.
Okay, cool. I actually did like that. Well, anyway, if you do open up Twitch, I'm actually going to do it right now. Let's see.
Right.
I open
I'll
up
do
my
the same
home
thing too. Let me see if I notice anything.
I do not actually see anything on mine, so I'm good. Never mind. There's 1, 2.
What am I looking for?
So the new thing is hot tub streams.
Okay. All right. I'm already out. I see pool workout, aka in a tiny bikini.
Yes. So, I mean,
how is this acceptable?
So my thing is, it's like I'm all for like, you know, if I was a woman and I was hot, I would flaunt it on Twitch. Believe me, I would. And to an extent, I'm fine with doing it, but it's like I know that this is a way of them trying to dodge rules in the sense that it's like, oh, you can't, you know, stream in a low cut like crop top t-shirt or short shorts.
Yeah.
But a swimsuit is applicable even though it's showing exponentially a lot more. And you know, that's what I've been thinking, and I was reading this article from let's see where it was. There's this article on Kotaku by Nathan Grayson, who's like one of their big writers, and someone made a really good point, and I'm trying to figure out where it was. It's a streamer 39 Daff. I don't know who she is. I'm assuming it's a she. Let me see. I do not know. Anyway, it's a streamer 39 Daff, and they made which I thought was a really good point, is they said, quote, I don't think it's fair to hate on women doing the hot tub meta. Twitch has the power to do something, but chooses not to. Their inconsistent enforcement of rules is definitely strange. And that's where I was like, you know what? Like, this is something that Twitch should be cracking down on or laying out a foundation for. And these people are running with it while there is that gray area. And it's like, so it's like at first I was like, oh, people are just, you know, looking for an excuse to like, you know, take advantage of it. But at the same time, like Twitch is kind of dropping the ball because it's like people are making an outrage, like quoting like their rules and shit to them, and Twitch isn't doing anything about it or saying anything about it. So that's where I was like, that's a good fucking point.
Right. And I agree with you in that if I was an attractive woman, this would be a very easy way for me to build a brand. You know what I mean? It's not
exactly
hard. But so I don't blame them for doing it. What I blame, again, I agree with you. I blame Twitch for not being consistent. And then by extension, it's clearly building a lot of resentment within the Twitch community.
Yeah, that's exactly. I saw that somewhere in the article, is that it's like there is just like hate and resentment evolving because of this. Oh man, I'm trying to see where it's at now. And if you want to talk about this while I look for the thing or whatever,
I just think again, I just think Twitch needs to be consistent.
So here,
that's my biggest frustration with this is that, again, I don't have a problem with it, but then Twitch needs to come out and be transparent and say that it's okay. So and this then not pick and choose who they ban and who they don't ban when somebody does this.
So this is a quote from a streamer. I guess her name is QT Cinderella, and this I think nails it on the head. She says, "I want to make it very, very, very clear that there are multiple parties at fault here. Twitch as a website sexually charged streamers and viewers choosing to harass them. Twitch needs to set clear guidelines and help get rid of harassers. Hot tub streamers need to follow whatever guidelines Twitch sets up, which currently there are no real issues. And the viewers need to learn that just because one streamer does something does not mean another will. Shroud plays Valorant every day, but no one comes into my chat telling me I need to play Valorant." And I'm like, that's it. It makes sense. It's like, yeah, it's Twitch's fault. It's a streamer's fault. It's everyone's at fault because there's no control over it. So it's like, you can't really point, oh, it's this person's fault. It's like, no, it's people are running with the free system that's given to them.
Agreed. It all goes back to Twitch because, again, you're going to have viewers that are going to like build resentment and then take it out on the streamer, and then the streamer's going to be in a bad spot, but then the streamer's looking at Twitch, whose Twitch is not supporting them because they're not being clear. So at the end of the day, it all goes back, in my opinion, to Twitch.
Like I said, if I was a girl and I was like, you know what, there's no rules against this and it can make me like a following and money, I'll jump on it. I've even joked like, what's to stop me from going like moving my computer downstairs and doing like a hot tub stream myself as a joke?
Can you?
I don't know. I feel like you can because there is no guideline about it. You guys can't stream with their shirts off, but when you're swimming, that's an applicable swim attire, or workout attire. Like, so I feel like you could get away with it.
Next time I come over, let's do it.
I mean, if Twitch doesn't have any guidelines about hot tub streams at that point, I say we do. I will gladly. Okay, I'll move my shit downstairs. I got a long ass Ethernet cable I can run up through my window.
Bring my laptop.
Oh yeah, we could do that. All right, so you heard it here. If Twitch doesn't hear anything the next time Vitch is back in town, hot tub stream. And then we can get Casey, since it'll be at my house. We can get Casey to like, if she brings us like a drink or whatever in like full clothing, we'll be like, get out of here. We don't want you to get us banned.
I'm in.
Fuck yeah. That's really all I had to talk about, I think. This is I
hope Twitch gets their stuff together before something like this escalates.
Yeah, I'm surprised that it's been going on for as long as they can, but I'm hoping that it gets corrected soon. Even if Twitch comes out and says hot tub streams are fine, just as long as
then that's okay.
As long as they just come out and say, hey, this is okay, it's not okay. Pick one. Like,
just own it. Yeah, that's all I'm asking for. Just fucking own it.
Yeah, I don't give a shit. Even if Twitch is just like, we're going to add a section where people can get naked. It's like, at least you're telling us and like admitting it. That's fine. But it's like, don't keep everyone up in the air and then watch your own community just fucking break itself. Well, anyway, this has been a longer episode, but yeah, we got very fired up this episode. I did
Zack Snyder slow motion.
That's not us.
I know you like that. It's actually getting me really fired up to play games tonight.
That's gonna be my quote, like from here on out. Is like, you will catch me like on stream or in game. I will be saying that's not us all the time now, because that's just such a cocky douche thing to say. That's not us.
And then that's exactly what happens.
I need to get Overwatch again, because it's like, can you imagine, like, it's like, I want to play support like you and me play support, and when our team inevitably bitches and be like, yo, our healers aren't doing anything. That's not us.
We don't not heal. That's not us.
Oh my god. All right, well, yeah, this has been episode 47. Yes, I'm smiling.
Are you smiling, kid?
No, I'm not. That's not us. We don't
Pacify
smile.
tonight. Gonna be screaming, boys.
Holy fuck, man, that game's so much fun.
Let's go, boys.
Wait, real quick, speaking of Pacify, you know that game's like 3 years old?
Say what?
Yeah, Brandon was talking to me about it. He's like, yeah, me and Phoebe played like Pacify like years ago, and I was like, huh? Like, oh, never mind. It's
Are you?
Oh, it's 2019. Sorry, I thought it was 2018.
Are you?
Am I what?
Are you smiling?
Yes.
It is your voice.
Touch my door as a
Bond 2021, boy.
Dude, if they don't correct anything, Bond stream.
Oh!
Hell yeah. We'll see you.
Fuck up, kid.